What's going on, you guys? Let's talk about My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 12. This was a wrap-up episode, sort of, and also like a set up things for the future kind of episode. And there's a lot to unpack in this episode of My Hero Academia. And fun fact, in this episode that had a ton of stuff to unpack, I had to watch it with subtitles for the first time since Season 1. Because I've been watching the dub exclusively for all of Season 2, and for all of Season 3 so far. But now that the dub is delayed a week, I'll be reviewing it in Japanese, so it's probably the first time I've watched an anime in Japanese since Super ended, so I had to get used to watching with subtitles again. So if I missed anything, I apologize, but diving into the episode, let's talk about it. So yeah, one thing I want to say right out the gate is I think this episode really tackled comedic moments and emotional moments really well. Like, it balanced them very nicely. You had comedic stuff with Bakugo's family and Jiro's family, and even a couple of lighthearted moments with Deku and his mom and All Might. Like when All Might walks in and he sees like Deku's room and all the posters of All Might everywhere. That was, just a funny little quick gag. And even like when they have that emotional scene on the beach, All Might and Deku, they have like that scene where they're kind of doing like a little spoof of, running towards each other in slow motion on the beach romantically, and then he hits him with a Texas smash. That was really funny. So yeah, like it's got a really good balance of humor and serious moments. In the beginning we have the cops talking about Shigaraki and how the villains are getting stronger and bolder, and they're getting all these small victories, and even if they beat All For One, even if they beat the big bad guy, they lost the symbol of peace to do it. All Might is no longer the symbol of peace. He is retired, and it's going to be interesting to see how the world changes, how villains are going to, react to it. Not just the League of Villains, but just small-time villains that All Might's been taking down. If there's going to be more chaos in the streets, more villain attacks, I would bet there's going to be, most likely. So I'll be very curious to see how that goes. And yeah, they're talking about how they have to capture Shigaraki as soon as possible because he's becoming a better leader, and his League of Villains is seriously becoming like a major problem. It already is a major problem, and it's just getting worse. So that was a good scene, setting things up for the future with the police force. Then we had a scene with, like I said, the scene at the beach where he's talking about raising Deku right, properly training him, dedicating time to making him the best he can be. Emotional scene. It worked. It was nice. Started off comedic in a fun way. So that was a really solid scene. And then, of course, talking to the parents about turning the UA school, the high school, into a live-in school, like a boarding school or a college or whatever. Like, they have dorms, basically, which is really cool. I think it's a cool idea. Based on the preview, it seems everyone's going to have their own rooms with their own styles and stuff, so that should be really fun. And, yeah, I don't really know what else to say as far as that goes. That's next week's episode, but that should be fun. I like the setup for it being dorms and being like a live-in school. I think that could be really interesting and fun. So, and it's a good idea to keep the students safe. 'Cause that's one thing that I've always thought of is like, if you can like see the students' names at the sports festival and stuff, like they have like, oh, Katsuki Bakugo won, and it's like, can't a villain who doesn't like Bakugo be like, okay, so his name's Katsuki Bakugo, and like find his like are the addresses of the parents hidden so that you can't go after their loved ones, because the names of the students are public. Like, what's his name? Shigaraki knows Izuku Midoriya by name. So like, is his mom's address hidden? Is that information hidden so he can't go to his mom and like kill her or something? So I don't know. I think I might have asked that question before, but I'm very curious about that. But at least the students are protected, I guess. At least they're inside the school. At least going forward. Yeah, so I think it's a good precaution. I think it could lead to some fun stuff. So that's really cool. Let's see, what else happened? I don't even know. There's so much in this episode. There's a scene with All For One at the end where he nears All Might and says that it's your turn next, and he's talking about Shigaraki. So that's a cool scene. Let's see, was that the after credits? It might have been an after credit scene. What else happened in this episode? He's also in some prison called Tartarus. It's like this maximum security prison. He's just kind of in like a straitjacket though, and he has like a breathing apparatus because he's, dying. I'm really curious, like, can he just break out? Like, is there something that's causing his quirk to be suppressed right now so that he can't just blow a hole in the wall and leave? I'm very curious. I mean, it sounds like he wants to pass things on to Shigaraki anyway, so he doesn't really seem to care that he's in jail, but I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, the only other thing to talk about, I guess, is the parent visits. So we had Jiro's family. Her dad's like a rock star, and the mom seemed kind of chill. I don't know. She didn't really talk, but I can see why she has like, an affinity for. I mean, I assume she has an affinity for music. I think we've seen her with headphones. I think are headphones a part of her hero costume? I might be wrong on that. And I know she has like the earphone jacks, and she dresses all punk and stuff. So you can see where she gets that from, I guess. Just little tiny like background characterization, and then of course Bakugo, which all I can really say about that scene is that his mom is hilarious and she looks really good, which is I very much appreciate that. That is really weird to say because she's like a gender swap of Bakugo, but whatever. I call it like I see it. She looks good. And she's funny. She hits him on the head a couple of times, and it's just so funny to see Bakugo because he's always so cocky and arrogant, and he's still like that with his mom. But I just love how his mom does not put up with that shit at all. That was really funny, and she just totally understands him. Like, he's really fucking cocky because he has a great quirk and is really good at everything. So yeah, she's glad that the school has taken him down a peg, and she's glad that he's training to become. I like these parent scenes are nice. These parents really feel like that you can definitely they feel like real families. I really like that. Um, and then we have the scene with Deku and his mom, and yeah, it's good. Aside from that scene where All Might sees Deku's room, and maybe like a couple other moments, like when All Might first walks in, and both him and his mom are freaking out about it. Uh, it's a pretty serious scene. She does not want him to go back to UA. She doesn't trust the school. She doesn't like how injured Deku is. Every time an arc happens, like every single time he gets massively injured. And it was nice to see All Might. He buffs himself up for as long as he can, which is a few seconds. He bows down. He apologizes. He says, "This kid's going to be the simplest." It's a really great apology. It's really well handled. I also like that Bakugo actually, going backwards a little bit, he asked All Might, "What's up with Deku? Like, what does he mean to you?" And All Might, of course, doesn't tell him because obviously he's not going to tell him. And Bakugo knows that he's being lied to, but he's like, "Fuck it. If you don't want to tell me, don't tell me." And his mom was like yelling at him to come inside, which was funny. I don't know. It feels so organic. It just feels like a real family. It's really, really solid. And it feels like a real family in like an over the top kind of anime sort of way. But yeah, it's a really great scene. Going back to Deku and his mom and All Might. Yeah, and of course he'll go to UA. But I do want to say though, I really like though that if he had not been able to go back to UA, he still would have wanted to be a hero. He still would have gone to a different school to take the hero course. That's really cool. I actually really like that because he doesn't want to, limit his ability to become a hero because he can't go to a certain school to do it. I really like that because I've seen in other anime and other shonen especially where a character will say, "Oh no, I can't achieve my goal because of some arbitrary," like Naruto when he said like, "Oh, I'm not worthy to be Hokage if I can't save one friend," and it's like Sasuke was never your friend. Sometimes people leave. That's their own choices. Like I don't know. Like it's arbitrary bullshit for him to say I can't be Hokage. Whereas Deku's like, okay, I can't go to this school anymore, but I'm still going to be a hero because I got this letter from Koda and I was his hero and I have the potential to be a hero and all this. So it was a really good scene. I like that his drive wasn't, deterred at all because of not being able to go to UA. And of course he is going to go to UA, but still, I like that he had that determination. I think that's pretty much the episode. Like I said, a lot to talk about, but yeah, it was a really solid episode. It was nothing like mind-blowing, but it was a good breather after how intense the last few episodes were, especially the last episode. It's cool to see how things are changing in the world. Definitely want to see more of that. It'll be cool to see how the school changes with everyone living there and having dorms. Yeah, it was fun to see the parents. It balanced comedy and serious moments really nicely. Good setup, good wrap-up. Yeah, it's just an all-around solid episode, but that's pretty much all I have to say. So what did you guys think of this episode of My Hero Academia? Go ahead and tell me in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here. Click that little bell to get notifications when my videos go up. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.